My child, stop right there. I am speaking to you now, not later, not someday, not when you feel ready. Right now, I am reaching into this moment and holding you still. Because this is not random and this is not noise. This is not for everyone. This is for you. Just you and me. I need you to feel that before anything else enters your mind. I know how this sounds. I know what it resembles, but I am not playing games with your attention. I am not using empty words to pull you in. I am speaking in a way you will recognize, so that you pause long enough for truth to reach you. I have something for you, and it is not what you think. It is not meant to impress your mind. It is meant to touch your heart and set your life back in order. This moment was prepared, not generally, specifically. Long before you paused, long before you even realized you were searching for something without knowing what it was. I saw this moment coming. I arranged it with care. And most people will never experience what you are about to experience. Not because they are worse than you, but because they never stop long enough to listen. They stay busy. They stay distracted. They stay entertained. And they miss the quiet door opening in front of them. You did not miss it. You are here. That alone matters more than you realize. Timing matters, my child. Later will not carry the same power. Tomorrow will not hold the same clarity. Another moment will not feel like this one. I am not saying that to push you into fear. I am saying it because moments carry weight, and this moment carries something meant for you now. A delayed response costs more than it needs to. Some doors close gently, without noise, without warning, simply because the moment passed. I do not want that for you. That is why I am speaking with seriousness wrapped in love. Let a different kind of curiosity rise in you. Not the kind that chases excitement. The deeper kind. The one that has been quietly asking if there is more than this routine, more than this heaviness, more than this cycle you keep repeating. That question is not weakness. It is your heart remembering that it was made for more than survival. Hear me clearly. What is coming will not overwhelm your mind. It will soften your heart. It will shift how you see yourself, how you see your past, and how you see what is still possible. The ending of this word is not loud. It is deep. It does not arrive with fire in the sky. It arrives with understanding. And understanding changes everything quietly from the inside out. Heaven is not distant right now. Heaven is leaning in, not to judge you, not to test you, but to witness a moment of awareness. Moments like this are watched closely, not because they are dramatic, but because they are rare. You are standing in one now, and you are safe here. I know urgency can feel like pressure, and pressure can feel unsafe. So hear me again. You are not being pushed. You are being invited. I am increasing seriousness, not fear. I am drawing closer, not standing over you. My love does not change when my voice becomes firm. It becomes clear. What happens next will change how you see your life. Not instantly, not by magic, but truthfully. You will begin to understand why certain things felt heavy, why some paths never brought peace, why your heart has felt restless even when life looked fine on the outside. Understanding is what I am handing you. Clarity is what follows. And after clarity comes alignment, the quiet settling of a life back into its true place. Open this moment fully. Open your attention. Open your heart just enough to stay present. I am not asking for perfection. I am asking for honesty. I am not asking for promises. I am asking for awareness. And here is the first truth I want you to hold. You are not as lost as you think, not as far behind as you fear, not as cut off as it has felt. You are closer than you realize, and this moment is proof. Do not wait until it feels safer. Do not wait until you feel stronger. Do not wait for a more convenient hour. Stay. Listen. Let what happens next begin to work in you quietly, deeply, and truly. You were brought to this moment for a reason, and that reason is unfolding right now. Nothing about your arrival here slipped through unseen. I have been watching the quiet path that led you to this hour, the small choices, the pauses, the inner restlessness that kept returning even when you tried to ignore it. You did not arrive here by chance. You arrived because something in you was finally ready to hear what could not reach you before. There were other hours when something like this might have found you, and you would have moved past it, without a second thought. There were days when your heart was too guarded, too tired, or too full of noise to stop. I did not force those moments. I let them pass. Not because I did not care, but because your heart was not yet open enough to receive without turning away. Timing is not about urgency alone. It is about readiness. This moment is not random because your life has not been random. Even the parts that felt like chaos were forming something in you. Even the delays were sharpening your awareness. Even the disappointments were teaching you what empty promises feel like, so you would recognize truth when it came quietly instead of loudly. While you were simply living your days, I was working in ways you could not see. And now at last, you are still enough to hear me say so. So stay here with me a little longer. Do not reach for the next distraction. Do not let this hour blur into all the others. Something is being placed before you that was guarded for a long time, and I want you to receive it with both hands. My child, I have been preparing you through experience, not explanation. While you counted the days, I measured readiness. While you watched the calendar, I watched your heart. There were paths I kept you from that would have taken more from you than you could afford to lose. There were hours I slowed everything down because you were about to rush into something that would have wounded you. There were doors I closed that looked good on the surface but carried pain underneath. At times you thought I was absent. I was not. I was careful. There were conversations you never had, decisions that stalled, openings that slipped away, and you wondered why. You thought you had missed something. In truth, I was keeping space clear for this hour. I was making sure your life did not move so fast that you would miss the deeper call rising inside you. Now, divine timing is not dramatic. It is gentle and precise. It does not announce itself loudly. It settles things quietly into place. When the hour is right, things come together without forcing. That is what you are feeling now. A sense of pause. A sense of being held in place just long enough to listen. You may think destiny is something far away reserved for a different kind of person or a different kind of life. But destiny begins with awareness, not achievement. It begins when you recognize that this moment carries meaning beyond what it appears to be. Destiny does not always shout. Sometimes it lowers its voice and asks if you are willing to stop and pay attention. I prepared you by letting you grow tired of shallow answers. I allowed you to feel the ache of repetition so you would long for direction. I let you pass through silence so you would treasure clarity when it came. None of it was wasted. It softened places in you that once pushed truth away. You were meant to hear this now because you are no longer looking for distraction. You are looking for understanding. You may never have named it that way, but your heart has been asking deeper questions. Why does this keep happening? Why do I feel this way, even when things look fine? Why does something feel unfinished? Those questions are not signs of failure. They are signs of readiness. This word carries weight because it comes at a time when you can feel seriousness without panic. You can sit with truth without shutting down. You can sense importance without needing drama. That tells me you have grown. Growth is not always visible, but it shows itself in moments like this one. Unseen preparation has been happening within you as well. Your ability to listen has been forming. Your patience has been stretched. Your tolerance for emptiness has worn thin. That is not weakness. That is hunger for something real. And hunger means you are alive and ready to receive nourishment instead of noise. There is an alignment happening between what you need and what I am offering. Alignment is rare. It appears when timing, readiness, and willingness briefly meet. That is what makes this hour precious, not fragile, meaningful. I do not open such hours often, and I did not open this one carelessly. I want you to sense destiny not as pressure but as invitation. Destiny does not demand that you become someone else. It calls you to become more fully who you already are. The road ahead does not require you to rush. It requires you to be present. Presence is where my guidance becomes clear. If this word had come earlier, you might have brushed it aside. If it came later, it might have landed heavier than necessary. Now it arrives with the right weight, enough to matter, not enough to crush. That balance is not an accident. It is the mark of a father who knows exactly how much his child can carry and exactly when to place it in their hands. You may feel something settling in you as you listen. A quiet recognition, a sense that this fits in a way other things have not. That is not imagination. That is truth meeting readiness. When those two meet, it feels steady, not chaotic. I am not revealing everything at once. I never show you everything at once. Purpose unfolds in steps, not leaps. But this step matters. Pausing here was the first movement. Staying present is the next. Responding honestly will follow in its own time. You are not being rushed. You are being guided. Your life has reached a point where direction matters more than speed, where depth matters more than appearance, where truth matters more than comfort. Those values did not appear overnight. They were formed through what you lived. Nothing about your past disqualifies you. Nothing about your questions makes you less mine. If anything, they make you ready. Ready to listen, ready to understand, ready to move forward with awareness instead of reaction. Let yourself feel the significance of this without turning it into anxiety. Destiny does not need your worry. It needs your attention. So give your attention to this hour. Let it speak to you quietly. Let it settle into your heart. This is where your path gently turns, not away from who you are, but toward who you have been becoming all along. And I am here with you, not ahead of you, demanding speed, not behind you, pushing you forward, beside you, guiding each step as it comes. My child, we have walked a long road together. Even in the seasons when you could not feel me walking it, I never once let go of the road. And I never once let go of you. This is not coincidence. This is timing shaped by love, preparation shaped by care, and a moment set apart so you would finally know that your life carries meaning deeper than you have allowed yourself to believe. Stay here. Let that understanding grow roots, because what I am about to reveal next is the very thing you have been circling for years without being able to name it. My child, what you expected from this moment was never what I intended to give you. Human surprise looks for shock, for something new, for news that startles the mind and briefly holds attention. It arrives loud and fades fast. Divine revelation is different. It does not rush in to press upon you. It settles in to awaken you. It does not aim to amaze your thoughts. It aims to restore your understanding of who you are. You thought the surprise would be an answer, a sign, a sudden change in circumstances, something outside of you that would prove this moment mattered. But what I prepared reaches deeper than information. Information can be learned and forgotten. Revelation changes how you see yourself, and once that changes, nothing returns to its old place. Human surprise asks what happened. Divine revelation asks, who are you becoming? That is why this moment feels quieter than you expected and heavier than you imagined. Your heart already senses that this is not about learning something new. It is about remembering something true that has been buried under noise, fear, and repetition. The surprise is not a secret hidden from you. It is an identity revealed to you. Identity does not arrive like an announcement in the street. It arrives like recognition. It feels familiar, almost obvious once it is seen. And yet, it changes everything because you can no longer pretend you do not know it. You have spent a long time searching for clarity outside yourself, looking for signs, words, explanations that would finally tell you what to do. I am not ignoring those needs. I am reaching the root beneath them. When identity becomes clear, direction follows naturally. When identity is blurred, no amount of information brings peace. So here it is. You are not who your fear told you that you were. You are not defined by the delays you endured, the confusion you carried, or the seasons you felt lost. Those things shaped your journey, but they are not your name. You have been living beneath your true measure, surviving instead of carrying the life I placed within you. This revelation does not shout. It gently removes the lies you learned to believe. It loosens the labels you accepted because they seemed to explain your pain. It separates who you are from what happened to you. And that separation feels both relieving and unsettling because it asks you to stop answering to the name your wounds gave you. Now let me keep speaking to the deeper thing. because this awakening has only begun. You expected a surprise that would change your situation. I am handing you one that changes your standing. Situations shift more easily when the one standing in them knows who they are. Identity is the foundation everything else rests on. When the foundation is sure, the house no longer shakes with every storm. This is why so many never taste this moment. They wait for something outside themselves to rescue them. They want answers without awakening. They want change without recognition. But my revelation does not go around the heart. It goes straight through it. As this truth rises in you, you may feel emotion without knowing why. A softness, a quiet ache, a sense of being seen more clearly than you are used to. That is awakening. Awakening is not loud, it is honest. It feels like coming home to yourself after a long time away. You were never as broken as you believed. You were burdened. You were tired. You were carrying questions with no one to help you hold them. But you were never without value, never without direction, never without purpose forming beneath the surface. The truth simply waited for the hour when it could be spoken without being refused. This surprise is not meant to overwhelm you. It is meant to steady you, to give you solid ground when everything else feels uncertain. Knowing who you are does not remove struggle, but it gives struggle its true meaning. You stop asking, "What is wrong with me?" You begin asking, "What is being formed in me?" I am not handing you a list of things to fix. I am restoring your sight. When you see yourself clearly, you naturally release what does not belong to you. Fear loses its authority. Shame loses its voice. Confusion loses its grip. Not all at once, but steadily. The way morning takes back a field from the dark. This is also why the revelation could not come earlier. Without preparation, you would have treated it as information. You would have asked, "What do I do with this?" instead of letting it reshape how you stand in the world. Now you can receive it without turning it into another burden. So let this awakening move slowly through you. Do not rush to name it or measure it. Awakening is not something you finish. It is something you allow. It unfolds as you begin to see your life through a truer lens. Your worth was never in your usefulness, your success, or your ability to hold everything together. Your worth stands because you stand. Because you were formed with intention. Because your presence matters even when nothing feels resolved. Let that understanding change how you move. You stop chasing approval. You stop measuring yourself against others. You stop believing that delay means failure. You begin to live from truth instead of laboring for worth. This is the surprise you did not expect. Not a twist, not a shock, a revelation. One that does not fade when this hour ends. One that keeps working quietly within you, shaping choices, quieting fear, and restoring dignity. Stay with it. Let it settle. You are not being asked to become someone new. You are being invited to remember who you have always been beneath the noise. My child, most people never reach this moment. Not because they are unloved, not because they are unworthy, but because they are overwhelmed. Their lives are filled with constant sound, endless demands, and steady distraction. The world keeps them busy enough that they never stop long enough to listen. Noise feels safer than silence because silence asks questions. Silence invites truth, and truth requires attention. Distraction is subtle. It does not arrive as rebellion. It arrives as busyness. It arrives as wandering, filling every quiet space so nothing deeper can surface. It arrives as numbing, choosing comfort over awareness, choosing amusement over reflection. Many people are not running from me in anger. They are drifting away without ever noticing the current. Avoidance often wears the clothes of activity. People stay busy to avoid feeling what is unresolved inside them. They stay surrounded by voices so they do not have to hear their own heart. They keep moving so they never have to look at where they are standing. This is not because they are weak. It is because stillness feels dangerous when truth is waiting underneath it. Deep listening requires something most are unwilling to give. It requires admitting that something is missing, that the surface has not been enough. Many prefer quick relief to lasting understanding. They want solutions without surrender, clarity without reflection, peace without honesty. Deep listening asks more, not more effort, more openness. I do not withhold this moment from others. I do not choose favorites. But not everyone chooses awareness. Not everyone pauses when truth lowers its voice. Some feel the nudge and silence it at once. Some sense the weight of a moment and quickly bury it under the next distraction. Some recognize the call and delay it until it fades. This is why so many never arrive here. Not because they are loved less, but because they were never willing to stop. Willingness is quiet. It does not announce itself. It simply stays when everything else says, move on. You are here not because you were better than anyone else. You are here because you paused. You stayed. You listened instead of drifting past the feeling that something mattered. That does not make you superior. That makes you awake. And being awake is not a badge. It is a responsibility to remain honest with yourself. I want you to feel chosen without pride. Chosen does not mean lifted above others. It means invited into a moment of clarity that carries purpose. This invitation does not separate you from the world. It prepares you to walk through it with steadier eyes and a clearer heart. Many confuse being chosen with being special. That is not what this is. This is about readiness. Readiness to listen. Readiness to sit with truth without defending against it. Readiness to let who you are be revealed instead of built out of fear and borrowed opinions. Noise dulls the inner ear. The more sound that surrounds a heart, the harder it becomes to feel direction. Constant clamor numbs the quiet voice within. Over time, people forget how to recognize gentle guidance. They mistake peace for boredom and depth for heaviness. So they return to the noise again and again and wonder why they stay empty. You are feeling something different because you allowed stillness, even if only for a moment. That moment was enough. Stillness does not need to be long to be powerful. It only needs to be honest. Avoidance often disguises itself as delay. People tell themselves they will listen later, pray later, reflect later. Later becomes a habit. Habits shape lives. Before they realize it, the moment has passed and the call no longer feels clear. Not because it was taken away, but because it was never answered. I do not shout to compete with the noise. I wait for openness. I wait for the hour when a heart grows tired of running and becomes willing to rest. That willingness is rare, not because it is difficult, but because it takes courage to stop. You reach this moment because something in you chose depth over distraction. You may not have named it that way, but your heart did. Your heart knew that wandering would not satisfy what was stirring. It knew that noise could not answer the questions forming quietly inside you. This is not about being spiritual enough or disciplined enough. It is about being honest enough to admit that something matters. Honesty opens doors that noise keeps shut. As you listen now, let go of comparison. Do not measure yourself against those who are not here. This moment is not meant to divide you from others. It is meant to anchor you so you can move forward with clarity instead of confusion. Most people never reach this stillness because they never believe they are allowed to stop. They think life demands constant motion. They think worth is proven by busyness. They think rest must be earned and listening is a luxury. It is not a luxury. It is the foundation. Nothing I build in a life stands for long without it. You did not force your way here. You did not earn this hour. You responded to it. Response is simple, but it is powerful. It turns a whole life without straining. Guard your heart against pride in this. Pride closes what awareness opens. Stay low. Stay teachable. Humility keeps you able to receive without needing to compare and able to grow without needing to be seen. This moment does not mean you will never struggle again. It means you will struggle with understanding. You will recognize distractions sooner. You will know when noise is pulling you away from what matters. I am not separating you from the world, my child. I am strengthening you for what comes next in it. In the end, most never arrive here because they never believe such a moment could be for them. They assume depth belongs to someone else. They assume clarity is rare and out of reach. You did not assume that. You stayed. Let that remain true of you. Not perfectly, not without struggle, but with intention. Return to stillness when the noise grows loud. Return to listening when distraction pulls. You are here because you listened. That is all, and that is enough. And because you listened, there is something I have been keeping for you that I can finally speak about. My child, there has been something quietly waiting for you. Not forgotten, not lost, not taken away, held. Held with care until you were ready to receive it without fear or confusion. I want you to understand this deeply, because many of your questions grew from the feeling that nothing was happening, that you were left behind, that the long quiet meant refusal. It never did. Think of a wagon loaded long ago in a far country, its cargo sealed and marked with your name. It set out on roads you could not see. It crossed hard ground and deep mud. There were places where the wheels sank and the load sat still, held back by obstacles you never knew existed. Words spoken against you. Snares laid across your path. Resistance in the unseen realm assigned to keep what is yours from reaching you. The load was delayed. It was never lost. And now hear this. I am the strength that pulls that wagon free. I am the wind at its back. I am the king who signs the release with my own hand. And when my kingdom decrees a thing, nothing beneath heaven can hold it in the mud. What is yours cannot spoil in the waiting. It cannot be stolen from my keeping. It is moving toward you now. Some things cannot arrive early without being damaged. Some blessings collapse under hearts that were never made ready to hold them. I waited because I love you too much to hand you something heavy before your hands were strong. Blessings are not only provision, they are responsibility. Alignment must come before release, or what was meant to build you would have buried you. You felt overlooked during the waiting. You wondered whether I saw your faith thinning, your hope stretched, your prayers growing quieter. I saw it all. I did not turn away. I leaned closer. There were nights you nearly settled for less because waiting felt too heavy. There were moments you reached for what was available instead of what was right. I stepped in quietly. I let certain things fall apart because they would have chained you to a smaller life. That was not loss. That was rescue. You planted in hard seasons. You gave when you had little left to give. You kept your hands faithful when the ground gave you nothing back. Not one of those seeds fell outside my sight. Others around you told their stories of harvest while you stood in a bare field. And you said nothing, but you felt it. Hear me now. The field was never barren. It was working in secret, the way deep roots work before anything breaks the surface. The harvest you could not see was gaining strength underground. What has been waiting for you carries peace, not chaos. It carries clarity, not confusion. It carries growth, not exhaustion. That is how you will recognize it when it arrives. You will not have to force it. You will not have to shrink to hold it. It will meet you at the level you have grown into. The waiting itself taught you discernment. You learned the difference between urgency and readiness. You learned to keep walking without applause. You learned to carry unanswered questions without abandoning yourself. Those lessons were not accidents. They were the making of you. And understand this. What waited for you also required the world around you to move. People had to shift. Doors had to trade places. Certain ties had to loosen and fall away without tearing you. Some desires in you had to ripen. Alignment is slow because it gathers many threads at once, not only the ones you can feel. You may sense anticipation rising now, not impatience, recognition. The sense that something is closer than it has ever been. That feeling is not imagination. Expectation without anxiety is the sign that the waiting has finished its work. So release the belief that the delay meant you were behind. Many ran ahead and reached early, only to watch what they grabbed come apart in their hands. You stayed. You endured uncertainty. You questioned, but you did not close your heart. That mattered more than you know. What comes now does not come to prove anything to anyone. It comes to build something lasting. It will not arrive with a roar. It will arrive steadily. You will know it by the calm it brings, not the noise it makes. Doors will open without forcing. Conversations will shift on their own. Provision will find you without strain. The resistance inside you will grow quiet. These are the signs that waiting is giving way to movement. There were things I could not give you earlier because you would have tied your name to them. You would have let them tell you who you are. Now you know who you are without them. That is why you can be trusted with them. You are free to receive without being owned by what you receive. The waiting refined your desire too. You no longer want what merely shines. You want what is true. You no longer chase what stirs you for a day. You seek what will still be standing in 10 years. That change was the whole point of the long road. I know there were nights you asked why it was taking so long. I know you watched others move ahead and swallowed the ache of it. I did not dismiss those nights. I sat within them. But love sometimes says not yet, not to withhold, to protect. So get ready and understand what I mean by ready. Not braced, not anxious, open. What was held back is already in motion, and it is arriving with increase. In my kingdom, restoration never returns things as they were. The years that seemed swallowed will be repaid in strength, in wisdom, in provision, and in peace you did not have when they began. Time is not your enemy when my hand is on it. My child, there are seasons when the weight of life becomes so constant that the soul wears down without anyone noticing. Not the obvious troubles, the quiet ones. Responsibilities pile on. The expectations of others turn into burdens no one can see. Your own mind begins arguing with itself before the day even starts. You do not say it out loud, but sometimes you wish you could set everything down for 1 hour and breathe without having to prove anything. I have been there, not at a distance, closer than your own breath. I watched you keep moving when your soul was begging for rest. I watched you hold the household of your life together with hands that were trembling under the table. I noticed every word you swallowed to keep the peace, every hard choice you made for the sake of what is right when no one said thank you. None of it slipped past me. What you are walking through now is not punishment. It is a passage, a narrow place between what was and what is about to be. The road tightens here. The pressure seems to come from every side. But this pressure is not sent to crush you. It is shaping you. The way deep places shape gold, the way the press releases oil from the olive. What I am forming in you has outgrown the old ways that used to hold you. The old thoughts, the old fears, the old habits of the heart are cracking because they cannot make this journey with you. Your identity is being set right. I am removing the labels others fastened on you, the words you accepted as truth that never came from me, the picture of yourself that your wounds painted and called honest. I am returning you to the one I had in mind when I formed you in secret and wrote purpose into your frame. Not the person others expected, the one I intended. Many judged your road from the outside, knowing nothing of what was happening within you. But I do not see as they see. They look at the surface. I look at the roots, and I have seen healthy roots in you that you did not know were there. I saw your compassion when harshness would have been easier. I saw your humility when others were lifting themselves up. I saw your honesty when a lie would have spared you trouble. That is what carries eternal weight. That is what moves my heart. And what the world never applauded, I will repay in full and beyond. Understand what I am doing because it is not what the world calls success. Success leans on applause, on recognition, on results that others can count. I am leading you into fullness. Fullness is peace that does not check the circumstances first. Joy that holds its ground in the storm. Knowing who you are when no one else can see it. Standing exactly where you were made to stand. Doing what you were made to do. That is the country I am bringing you into. In the places where you have felt weakest, my grace will now show itself strongest. What you called your flaw will become the very ground where my strength is made plain. I am not asking for a perfect faith. I am asking for a sincere one, and you have shown it even with your doubts, even in your low moments. Sincerity is the soil where I plant things that last forever. There were people who tried to dim you, not always from hatred, often from a jealousy they never admitted to themselves. They worked to make you feel small, to make you question your worth, to convince you that you lacked what it takes. Their words have no authority to cancel what I have decreed. My favor on your life will speak louder than any criticism ever spoke. You do not need to defend yourself. The fruit will answer for you. Remember the mornings you prayed with almost no strength left, the nights when you could barely form my name. Those prayers did not scatter into the air. Not one was ignored. They were stored the way a king stores letters that matter, and they are being answered now in an order you could not have arranged. Faithfulness was never measured by visible results. It is measured by consistency in the silence. And you were consistent, not perfect, not flawless, surrendered. That is worth more than 1,000 triumphs. I have also been fighting where you did not know there was a battle. Obstacles were forming along your path that you never saw. Words were spoken against you in rooms you never entered. I am clearing that ground now. I am breaking agreements made in darkness against your progress. What I have decided to place in your life needs no one's approval and waits for no one's permission. There will be people who do not understand why things suddenly begin to open for you. Why what strained for years now moves with ease. You owe them no explanation. Keep your heart aligned with mine, and I will keep everything else falling into order around you. And stop searching for more signs, my child. Stop measuring your road against the roads of others. The work I am doing in you is not a copy of anyone else's story. It is original. It runs deep, and when it becomes visible, it will carry a mark that no one can take credit for. Those who watch it unfold will have only one explanation left. This could only have been God. There were seasons I let you walk with less, to teach you that with me, you always have enough. You learned it. Your dependence found its true root. And now I can trust you with more influence, more provision, more open doors. Not so you can sit above others, but so you can become a channel through which my goodness travels. What is coming toward you was never meant to stop at you. My child, I am also setting your companions in order. I am drawing near to you people with clean hearts, honest intentions, and a vision that agrees with yours. Bonds that build you instead of draining you. And I am loosening the ties that quietly took more than they gave. Do not be afraid when some people step out of your life in this season. Do not count it as loss. What feels like rejection is often release. I am making room because the next stretch of your road cannot be walked with just anyone beside you. Those you love are not outside this work either. The ones you carry in prayer, the names you bring to me at night. I have heard every one of them. The order I am bringing to your life will reach them too, in ways you will recognize when they come. You do not have to carry them with worry. Carry them with trust. They are held, and as the road clears, a peace you cannot explain will begin to settle over your heart. Not the brief kind that visits and leaves, the kind that stays. A peace that does not depend on things going well, but on knowing who holds all things. It is a deep security that rests not on what you have, but on who you are in me. I am bringing you to a place where you no longer need to prove anything because everything you need has already been planted inside you. The long cycle of effort without fruit is closing. The season of planting without gathering is ending. You are stepping into days when you will see with your eyes what you once held only by faith. Answers will come more quickly. Doors will open without warning. What is beyond nature will begin to feel natural. Not because life becomes perfect, but because your life has come into agreement with mine. I did not teach you to trust me only in the storm. I taught you to live by faith so that faith could become the air you breathe. You will not need to convince anyone of what I have done. The fruit will speak. The change in your countenance will speak. The steadiness in your voice will speak. And when others lean in and ask what happened to you, you will have a simple answer. I listened. He spoke. Everything turned. Now hear how I want you to leave this moment, because how you carry it matters as much as what you received. Do not turn it into striving. Nothing I promised you today requires your straining. It requires your walking. One step then the next, taken in trust. When the old fear returns, and it will try, you do not have to fight it with noise. Stand still inside and remember what was spoken over you in this hour. Fear cannot rewrite what I have decreed. Guard the quiet place where you met me today. Return to it often, not as ritual but as homecoming. A few honest moments of stillness each day will keep your heart tuned to my voice. and my voice will keep your steps sure. The world will keep offering its noise. You have tasted something better now. You know the difference. Be patient with yourself as this unfolds. Revelation lands in a moment, but it grows over seasons. There will be days you feel every word of this burning in you, and days it seems far away. Both days are part of the growing. On the faraway days, nothing has been lost. The seed is still in the ground. The wagon is still on the road. My hand is still on your life. Feelings measure weather, they do not measure truth. And when the increase comes, remember what I told you. It was never meant to stop at you. Let it flow. Give the encouragement you once needed. Speak the kind word you once longed to hear. Stand beside someone the way you wished someone had stood beside you in the narrow place. A blessed life is not a full storehouse. It is an open channel. The more freely it flows through you, the more freely it will keep coming to you. You came into this hour carrying questions you had stopped saying out loud. Whether you still mattered, whether the long quiet meant no, whether the best of your story was already behind you. Let those questions rest now. You matter more than you have ever dared to believe. The quiet was never a no, and the best of your story is not behind you. It is being set on the table in front of you. So walk out of this moment differently than you came in. Shoulders lifted, heart steady, eyes open. Not because everything changed in an hour, but because you finally know what has been true all along. You are known. You are held. You are chosen for a purpose that fits you exactly. And the one who began this work in you does not abandon what he starts. I finish what I begin. I keep what I promise. I complete what I love, and I love you. Watch now for the small confirmations. The conversation that turns unexpectedly kind. The provision that arrives from a direction you never considered. The heaviness that one morning simply is not there. These are not coincidences. They are my fingerprints left where you will find them. So you never again mistake my quietness for absence. This word does not end when my voice falls silent. It goes with you into your work, into your home, into the decisions waiting on your table this very week. Speak it back to me in the days ahead. Remind me of my promises, not because I forget, but because your remembering builds your faith into a wall no storm can breach. You stopped, you stayed, you listened. Heaven took notice, and nothing about your life is standing still anymore. The door has opened, the decree is signed, and what was held for you is on its way. Go now in peace, and let your life become the evidence of this hour.